Hey guys, how's it going? Jason here with Epic Bait Molds, and today we are going to be pouring the world's largest soft plastic worm. It is insane. It's 6.5 feet long. You see the mold here behind me. Look at this mold. Whew. Crazy. And I want to tell you a little bit about this mold before we get going. I had the idea for this worm for probably 4 years and finally was able to make it. We had our Epic Bait Makers meetup, first one ever, a few weeks ago, and so I made this for that event and we poured it as a team, which was super fun. Thanks to everyone that came out to do that. I can't wait to do it again next year. It's going to be amazing. But we got to pour this 6.5 foot worm together for the first time. It was awesome. And so then I've actually been making a few more because we're actually packing up right now to go to ICAST. So we've been making a few different worms because we might be meeting up with a few other YouTubers there that we're going to hand out, and it's just a cool thing to see. But this worm took about 4 hours to make in the machines. That's just machine time, and it took probably another, I don't know, 20 hours or so to design it and to program it. What was cool is we had to use some very unique large tooling. We had to use an 1-inch diameter ball mill and 3/4-inch diameter ball mill to get all this fine details and stuff on there. And the other thing that was super unique is it was crazy to fixture this thing. We had this sticking out of our machines by about, I don't know, 2 feet on each side. So we had to machine it in 4 operations because the bar is 78 inches long or something like that. It's like, and it's heavy. The bar is, I don't know, 50, 60 pounds at least. So we had it sticking out of the machine on one side, then we had to index the bar over, pick up our new XYZ, and then machine the other side. So it was kind of insane just to get to this point. But now we're here today, and so I want to show you how to pour this because it is a unique process. It's pretty freaking cool. So let's get rocking. All right, so the first thing, we got to clear off a large workspace. We got this awesome table we built, and you never would think about this with small molds, but because this mold is so long, we actually had to put shims under it to level it. So actually put a level on there to make sure this is completely flat, and we had to put these blocks on it because this mold is going to get super hot. So we don't want it on our table. We had to bring it up off our table a little bit. You see this block on this end to make sure we're not scorching the surface of this table. And next up, we need to be able to mix up a lot of plastisol. This thing takes about a gallon, a little less than a gallon of plastisol. So we have this bad boy. This little cooker has a motor on the top, and normally you would put your injectors in these holes. They swing open and shut, suck your plastic out and inject a bunch of molds. But today, this is actually going to be what we pour out of, which is a little scary. I actually have pants on today because if I accidentally over pour, it's going to literally burn my shins off, and normally wear shorts. So pants today for that, and then there's a stir on the other end of this baby. So as it's heating up, it's stirring because, as you guys know, you have to keep that plastisol moving or it'll burn on the bottom where that heating element is down there. But we can't just put this right on our table because our table will be very hot. So we are going to take Mr. Griddle here, put him down, and then we're going to put this on top of there. So as you can see, that is our setups to keep our heat off our table and to get our plastic going. For the giant worm here, we're going to use Bait Plastics 242. Shake it up. You could degas this. We actually did for one of the worms we made. We poured it in a big Pyrex, went over there and degassed it, but it actually does not have a lot of bubbles in it to begin with, and with this thing heating it for like, it takes like half hour to heat up. It's already steaming. So you don't really need to have the bubbles removed because they'll kind of float out. And it's set to 400 degrees. Put our stirring top on there and turn that on. This bad boy is going to take about a half hour to heat up. So I'm going to go do some other things, then we'll come back and we'll start adding in our flake and color. It is starting to gel, which means we have only maybe 10 or 15 minutes left. So we need to start heating up this giant mold because this giant mold it's gonna take forever to heat up. If you're wondering why this has to be so incredibly hot, we have to get this like up to a couple hundred degrees at least, is because this plastisol that we're about to pour in here is 350 degrees. And if it doesn't flow down this mold smoothly, we're gonna get what's called cold cracks or imperfections or lines in the sides of the bait. And we don't want that. We want this to be perfect. The tail, which is on this end, has a lot more aluminum in the mold. It's like 3 inches thick by 2 3/4 inches wide. So it is a lot of aluminum. It's super heavy. So we need a lot more heat on this end to get this baby hot. This end down here will be the hottest when it's poured and done. It's also the thinnest, but the bait is massive, so that'll hold heat for forever. We gotta get this end up to temp. We've done a couple neon colored worms already out of here, but I wanna do something a little more fishy, a little more silver. So, pearl gray from Barlow's will be our first thing we are gonna throw in here. Never use this, brand new bottle, have no clue what it's gonna look like. Look at that. Woo. The next thing we are gonna do, add that razzle dazzle disco ball look, is this flake, which is a 1/16 of an inch, so 0.06. Oh yeah, you guys ready? I am. And where you're gonna add the 0.04, this is the medium size. And last but not least, gold, the tiniest flake. Oh yeah, we got a long way to go. Okay, let's kind of mix it in there. Oh dude, that is crazy. When I pull it out on here, it is pretty much clear. So I'm gonna go get something to kind of thicken that up, muddy it up a little bit, because we don't want it to be just like translucent with glitter. Here's shark skin. It is a kind of gray color. And I'm gonna do a little bit of this golden orange. I don't know why. This might mess it all up, but just feeling it. Oh, a little bit over. That's really hot. Holy. Hopefully we have enough. I freaking spilled so much. Okay, that end is good, so I'm gonna walk to this end. Oh my goodness, this is going really well. That was freaking amazing. Holy cow. Just look at the color on this. Insane. And look how it's like kind of moving. See that? It's like churning. Oh my gosh. And there was my scary, almost on my legs over pour. Look at that. On both sides. And then this here I can clean up when if I touch it now, this fingertip's gone. But after it's cured, I can press on there and kind of cut that off. But look at that thing. There it is. Woo. All right, so this is insanely hot. Like that is super sketchy hot. So we're gonna let this sit for honestly half hour, probably more like an hour, and then we will demold it when we come back. It's been, I don't know, half hour maybe since we poured this, and I want to show you this. So the top is hard, still hot. You can see down in there, like that is hot molten lava in the core. So we need to give it another half hour at least. Yeah, all the way down it's hot. The tail is probably not. The tail is good. We got the little fan blowing on there. But yeah, so we need like half hour, and then we will do a demold. It's actually been probably what, 4 hours since I was last out here, and Amanda's here now. And we're gonna demold this baby. And I know what you're thinking. This color, maybe not the coolest looking from this side. And I'm kind of with you, but we have to trim this off. So let's do this first. So this stuff, you just push on it and it pinches it, and then you just peel it right off there. So that's our extra. You kind of pour it over the edge. And you can see here the worm has kind of pulled back from the edges. That's because it's shrinking. And if you look for the end down here, you can see how it's kind of caved in. That's because this plastic shrinks as it cools. Normally we fill it, it's bubbled and it's shrunken in. One thing with this is this was so hot when we poured it. I feel like it was like probably over 400 degrees. It was insanely hot. So I think some of our flake bled or something happened. It turned a little more gold than intended. But if you look at the bottom, you'll see there's so much more flake on the bottom of this bad boy because it's actually sank down as it cooled. It was so hot, the flake stopped suspending so well and kind of went to the bottom, which actually is the top. Oh man, what a beast. Oh, look at that thing. That looks so good. It looks really good. It looks like an eel or something, which will be perfect. We're hoping somebody, like Blacktip or someone, might want to fish this in the ocean. That would be pretty cool. A Goliath grouper would probably hammer that. And let's go put it over here and I'll show you guys the other ones we've made earlier. I know it's probably the least exciting color for this video, but look at this. Up here, look at this sweet one. It's chartreuse with chartreuse flake. All the way down there. This is the one we just poured. Actually looks amazing. Orange kind of pops in there. There's the OG original pink one. Here's a newer pink kind of purple one we made. Actually, if I get this out here in the light.
Some of these are made with 8-bit baits.
Yeah.
Powders.
Yeah, which gives them kind of a color shift and things like that. Like this one, you can see has that green in there. That's the Borealis coming through on that. And then we did a Monkey Milk blue flake bottom on that. We're hoping that, actually that one's for Joey and Nelly. Gonna see if he can catch a bull shark, he said, on that color. And then up here we have our last one, which is a purple, which kind of shifts to blue and green, depending how you're looking at it. I don't know if you can see it on here.
Name of that?
I do not, but look at that. Ooh. That's one heck of a lineup. There's big worms everywhere. And this is our cooling rack, which is our metal rack, because they don't fit anywhere else, right? They have no more counter space. Well, this here is actually where we stage orders. We have stuff there, but it was packed with stuff for iCast. We're getting ready for that. Here's kind of our setup. So if you're at iCast, this is what you'll be seeing. Anyways, we are freaking super stoked, guys. Thanks for checking out this video, and I hope somebody catches a huge fish on one of these worms. It's gonna be
so stoked to see.
It's gonna be amazing. Anyways, guys, have a good day, and we'll see you soon.